Northridge University stood on the edge of Redwood Valley, California, where modern buildings ended and ancient redwood forests began. During the day, the campus felt alive, students rushing between lectures, laughter echoing through open courtyards, sunlight reflecting off glass walls. At night, the forest watched. Dr. Ryan Ashford arrived mid-semester without ceremony. No announcement, no welcome event. One morning, his name simply appeared on the university's schedule. Students noticed him immediately. He was young for a professor, composed, striking without effort. He taught behavioral psychology, and his lectures carried a strange intensity. He never raised his voice, yet every lecture hall fell silent when he spoke. Elena Carter noticed him differently. From the first lecture, she felt something she couldn't show or explain. When Ryan's eyes moved across the room, they paused on her for just a second, long enough to be felt, then moved away. Something passed between them. Not desire, recognition. Ryan never stayed after sunset, never attended evening faculty meetings, never joined colleagues for dinner. He always left toward the forest. Elena began watching him disappear into the trees, unaware that her heart was already following. Weeks passed, and silence grew heavier between them. Ryan kept careful distance. He never stood too close to Elena, never lingered after class, never allowed himself to be alone with her. Yet he noticed everything: when she was afraid, when she was distracted, when something felt wrong. Elena felt the same pull. Love grew quietly, painfully, without words. One evening, Elena followed him. At the forest edge, Ryan stopped and turned. His eyes glowed gold in the fading light. Elena froze. In the next moment, he vanished. The following day, she confronted him. "I saw your eyes," she said softly. Ryan's jaw tightened. "You shouldn't have. What are you?" she asked. "A protector," he replied. That night, Elena followed him again. She watched bones shift, skin tear, fur rise. A massive wolf stood where Ryan had been, watching, guarded. Elena didn't scream. She understood. The first student died 2 weeks later. He was found near the parking structure, drained of blood, fear frozen on his face. The university director, Dr. Thomas Reynolds, called it an animal attack. Security footage vanished. Police were never invited. Ryan smelled the truth immediately. Vampires. Victor Blackthorne arrived soon after as a visiting academic, elegant, charming, dangerous. His gaze lingered on Elena, longer than necessary. "She's rare," Victor whispered. "I want her." Elena felt watched constantly. Her friends Lena Harper, Chloe Bennett, and Madison Reed noticed shadows following them at night. Ryan warned Elena without explaining. Never walk alone. The hunt had begun. Victor Blackthorne did not rush his hunt. He watched Elena from rooftops, from darkened corridors, from the forest edge. He learned her habits, her routines, her friendships, and more importantly, he studied Ryan Ashford. Victor saw the way Ryan's body stiffened when Elena laughed, the way his eyes followed her for just a moment too long before he forced himself to look away, the way he placed himself between her and danger without explanation. Love was already there. It simply had no name. Lena Harper was attacked near the dormitory courtyard just after sunset. Her scream tore through the night. Ryan felt it instantly. By the time help arrived, Lena was bleeding, but alive. The vampire lay shredded nearby, its body destroyed by claws no one could explain. Victor smiled from the trees. "You're losing control," he whispered. Elena knew then. This was not random. This was personal. Fear spread through Northridge University like a disease. Classes were canceled without explanation. Security guards quit overnight. Students whispered about shadows moving between buildings. Then the blackouts began. Emergency lights flickered as electronic doors locked automatically, trapping students inside lecture halls and dorm corridors. Panic erupted. Ryan moved through the darkness faster than sight, following the scent of blood and fear. Vampires were no longer hiding. They were inside the buildings. Dr. Reynolds watched from his office window, pale and shaking. This had happened before, decades ago, and it had been buried. Elena and her friends were locked inside the main lecture hall. The doors bent inward as something struck them repeatedly. Outside, Victor Blackthorne stood on the library roof. "Let the wolf choose," he whispered. Blood stained the campus, and the night grew longer. The lecture hall doors shattered. 3 vampires stepped inside, smiling. Students screamed. Ryan Ashford stepped forward. "Close your eyes," he told Elena. She didn't. Bones cracked, skin tore, fur burst through flesh. The wolf rose where Ryan had stood, massive, ancient, terrifying. Claws met flesh, fangs crushed bone. Blood splattered across walls and floors. Ryan fought with precision. This was not rage. This was duty. Across campus, students saw him through shattered windows, a wolf fighting monsters in the open. The secret was gone. The wolf was real. Victor dragged Elena into the forest. The redwoods twisted around them as if the land itself feared what was coming. Ryan followed her scent through blood and soil. They met in a clearing. "You love her?" Victor said calmly. "That's why you'll lose." Ryan circled him, blood dripping from his fur. "You only understand hunger," Ryan growled. The fight shattered trees and earth. Victor struck fast. Ryan answered with raw power. Elena screamed when Victor slammed Ryan against stone. Ryan rose again. Because love does that. With a final strike, Ryan tore through Victor's chest. The Vampire King burned to ash. Silence followed. Ryan collapsed. Elena held him, crying. The war was over. Northridge University survived. Official reports blamed wild animals and power failures. Dr. Reynolds resigned quietly. Ryan disappeared for months. Elena waited. When he returned, there were no secrets left. They finally spoke the words they had never allowed themselves to say. They married at Northridge University. Students filled the courtyard. Faculty watched in silence. Lena, Chloe, and Madison stood beside Elena. As the sun set, the forest moved gently. A howl echoed once through the redwoods. Not in rage, in peace. The wolf had protected them all. In love, patient and unspoken. Finally, it claimed its place.